It is April 26, 1777. A storm is rolling through the Hudson Valley of New York. Lanterns flicker inside farmhouses. Rain lashes against wooden shutters, and the air is thick with the tension of war. Somewhere between the distant rumble of thunder and the faint crack of musket fire, a 16-year-old girl prepares for a journey that will test the very limits of courage. Her name is Sybil Ludington. But here is the question that has haunted historians for centuries. Did this teenager truly ride into the night on a mission greater than Paul Revere's? Or has time transformed her into a legend larger than life? The year is 1777, 2 years after the Declaration of Independence. The American Revolution is in full swing, and the British strategy is clear. Choke the rebellion in New England and sweep down through New York to split the colonies in two. On this fateful April night, British forces and Loyalists under Colonel Tryon have just burned Danbury, Connecticut, a vital supply depot for the Continental Army. As flames engulf the town, news of the attack spreads like wildfire. It reaches Colonel Henry Ludington, commander of the local militia in Putnam County, New York. The situation is dire. His men are scattered across miles of farmland, tending to their spring planting. A call to arms must go out immediately. But who can deliver the message fast enough? Across twisting backroads in the dark, with British patrols lurking nearby. Enter Sybil Ludington, the colonel's eldest daughter. At just 16 years old, she steps forward, volunteering for a task that would make even seasoned riders hesitate. Mounted on her horse Star, she sets out on a ride that will stretch through nearly 40 miles of treacherous countryside, twice as long as Paul Revere's famous ride. But did it really happen the way the story is told? And what dangers lurked on those muddy, unlit roads? To answer that, we must ride alongside Sybil into the stormy night, peeling back layers of myth to uncover the truth of her remarkable journey. As Sybil gallops away from her family's mill in Fredericksburg, now known as Ludingtonville, the weight of her mission settles upon her shoulders. The militia must be rallied, and time is of the essence. Every moment lost gives the British forces more opportunity to wreak havoc on American supplies and morale. Picture the scene: a lone figure on horseback, silhouetted against flashes of lightning. Rain pelts down, turning dirt roads into treacherous mud pits. Sybil's hair, long and dark, whips behind her as she leans forward in the saddle, urging Star onward. In one hand, she clutches a sturdy stick, both to prod her horse and to knock on doors, rousing sleeping militiamen. The route she takes is no easy path. It winds through Carmel, Mahopac, Kent Cliffs, and farmers' mills before circling back to Fredericksburg. Each twist and turn presents new challenges. Low-hanging branches threaten to unseat her. Slippery embankments along the Croton River test Star's sure-footedness. And always there's the ever-present danger of encountering British troops or Loyalist sympathizers. But Sybil presses on, driven by a sense of duty that seems beyond her years. At each stop, she delivers her message with urgency. The British are burning Danbury. Muster at Ludington's. As dawn breaks, Sybil returns home, exhausted but triumphant. Her ride has been successful. Hundreds of militia members have been alerted and are now marching towards Danbury. Though they arrived too late to save the town, they engaged the British in the Battle of Ridgefield, forcing them to retreat to their ships on Long Island Sound. It's a compelling tale of bravery and patriotism. But here's where our story takes an intriguing turn. For all its drama and detail, Sybil Ludington's ride went largely unrecorded for nearly a century after it supposedly took place. The first published account didn't appear until 1880 in Martha Lamb's History of New York City. So how do we separate fact from fiction? Let's examine the evidence. On one hand, we have a rich oral tradition passed down through generations of Ludington descendants. Family lore can be a powerful preserver of history, especially for events that might have been overlooked by official records. We also know that Colonel Henry Ludington was indeed a prominent militia leader in the area. His role in the Revolutionary War is well documented, lending credibility to the idea that his family would have been involved in the war effort. Furthermore, the strategic importance of alerting the militia in response to the Danbury raid is undeniable. Someone would have needed to spread the word, and quickly. But skeptics point out some troubling inconsistencies. Why is there no contemporary mention of Sybil's ride in newspapers, military dispatches, or personal letters from the time? Paul Revere's much shorter ride was well documented almost immediately. Wouldn't a teenage girl's epic journey have been equally noteworthy? Some historians suggest that while Sybil may have indeed ridden that night, the scale and impact of her journey might have been exaggerated over time. Others propose that she might have been one of several messengers, her story eventually overshadowing the others. There's also the question of practicality. How feasible would it have been for a young girl to navigate such a long and dangerous route alone? Even for an experienced rider, it would have been a formidable task. Yet, the absence of evidence is not necessarily evidence of absence. Record-keeping during the chaos of war was often spotty, and the contributions of women and young people were frequently overlooked or downplayed. So where does this leave us? Perhaps, as with many historical tales, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Sybil Ludington may well have ridden that night, alerting militia members and playing a crucial role in the defense against British forces. But the epic scale of her journey, and its comparison to Paul Revere's ride, might be embellishments added over time. What's undeniable is the power of Sybil's story. Whether entirely factual or partially embellished, it speaks to the often overlooked contributions of young people, and especially young women, to the American Revolution. It reminds us that heroism comes in many forms, and that the course of history can be altered by the bravery of individuals, regardless of their age or gender. In recent years, Sybil Ludington has gained recognition as a symbol of female patriotism during the Revolutionary War. A statue of her astride her horse stands in Carmel, New York. Her story is taught in schools alongside those of more famous revolutionaries. In many ways, the debate over the historical accuracy of her ride has only increased interest in her story. But perhaps the most valuable aspect of Sybil's tale is not its literal truth, but what it represents. It's a reminder that history is complex, often messy, and rarely as clear-cut as we might like it to be. It challenges us to look beyond the well-known narratives and consider the countless unsung heroes whose actions, big and small, shape the course of events. As we conclude our journey through that stormy night in 1777, we're left with more questions than answers. Did Sybil Ludington truly embark on a ride twice as long as Paul Revere's? Did she single-handedly rally the militia that would push back against the British forces? Or has her story grown in the telling, a whisper becoming a shout across the centuries? The truth may forever remain as elusive as a rider in the mist. But perhaps that's fitting. For in the end, Sybil Ludington's ride is not just about historical facts. It's about the spirit of a young nation, the courage of its people, and the power of a story to inspire generations long after the echoes of hoofbeats have faded into silence. So the next time you hear a tale of unexpected heroism, of ordinary people rising to extraordinary challenges, remember Sybil Ludington. Remember that history is not just made by generals and presidents, but by every person who stands up for what they believe in, who rides into the night carrying hope for a better tomorrow. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit of Sybil in all of us, waiting for the moment to answer the call of history.